Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Colette and we're going to do a quiz. Back with a quiz. I enjoy the quizzes, I must admit, and it seems to be a format that you like, so let's go for it. There's 22 questions and it's how to tell if spirits are around you. Now, we've done a video on how to know if you're a medium, but that's more intense if you want to enhance mediumistic ability. This is just a general quiz to let you know that there might be spirits around that want your attention, would want to maybe communicate, or just let you know they're around. So it's more of a, it's not really light-hearted, I wouldn't say that, but it's more a general quiz rather than one about mediumship. So let's go for it. Now, the more answers you get out of the 22, obviously the more you're either opening up to your own mediumistic qualities or the more spirits are around you. It could be either. So I'm not going to say like, up to 15 you're this, up to 20 you're this. Just the more that you get a yes to on this, then it should tell you that there's are the spirits around you wanting to connect, or you're opening up more and understanding the signs. And if you have some of these, let me know. And if you want to share your score with other people, comments below. So let's go. They're in a bit of a jumble, but the first one I like is if you have any animals, dogs and cats. If you have animals and you basically see them react to what looks like nothing, I've got a couple of dogs and they're always reacting to spirits. Although Nellie's sitting over there at the moment is so used to them that she sometimes just goes, oh yeah. So anyway, if you are in your home or in certain parts of your home and you see that the animals are reacting or looking at something or barking and there appears to be nothing there, that's a sign that spirits are round about you and may want to get your attention. The second point is coincidences and synchronicities. This is one I say nothing in life is a coincidence. There's always something that is meant to be learned or reasoned from something. And when spirits are around, we tend to get odd synchronicities. We can find that we think of them and then for the rest of the day, things that remind us of them are around. It can be like, you've maybe thought of your mum and then someone that knew her from years ago would turn up or get in touch, or you find something in a charity shop that your mum used to have. I found a whole tea set that my gran and my mum had, and it was almost where I remember the scratches being was exactly the same. So we could say, oh, there's a coincidence. I found my mum's tea set in a charity shop 40 years, after it went missing or whatever. That's not coincidence. That is there to remind us that our spirits are there and wanting to, remind us, if not completely communicate, but remind us that they are there and there is the potential to communicate. Again, synchronicity is just when too many things come together at the one time and resonate as connected to one another. And I'd like to hear any of your synchronicities again in the box. Number 3, electrical changes. You could be sitting and all of a sudden the lights flicker or go out, or they come back on again. I've actually got a good instance of that in my new book that's coming out, where a spirit actually managed to change the lights on a Christmas tree while letting me know that she was there to tell other people. It's kind of a cracking story, but it's a good one. But spirits can interfere or really just connect or disrupt electricity, and it can be quite intense, particularly obviously if you're in a place that has a lot of electrical faults or surges or whatever, fair enough. But if it's just a normal day and then all of a sudden you're maybe worrying about something and the lights flash or the music goes up and down or your phone switches on and off. I mean, always think of the logical reason first. Has someone else's telly, say, be on your same frequency? Think of those things, but after a while, when you get too many of them, you have to see it as, well, what's going on here? So electrical changes and changes in things that rely on electricity and even batteries can be affected. Changes in temperature. If you're sitting and maybe you're relaxing or you're thinking of someone and then you get a distinct wave of coolness round about you, it's normally colder rather than hot. I used to call them cold spots when I had my forum because they were all over the place because it was a very old building. But yeah, changes in temperature, particularly if it goes through you, that could be a spirit coming through you or manifesting beside you. And I mean, that's a standard one. How often do we see videos where they're trying to let us know a spirit's there and they breathe out and it's cold air? That's the type of thing that is so well known to do, to be about spirits. It's actually in music videos and everything now. So changes in temperature. Smells. You could be sitting with, no fragrance on or whatever, and then suddenly smell your mum's perfume, your dad's tobacco. You could in some way smell an odd smell. Some spirits come through and it's almost like a smell of sulphur, like when in the past people used to strike matches, there was that kind of sulphur smell. Sometimes that can be the smell and that can be quite off-putting, but normally if they can, they will give a smell that you will associate with them, and that's the best ever. It really is. Even if it's like, I've had people say that, they smelt their mum's perfume. I've also heard people that lost babies say they smelled like baby powder and something, or that baby smell in the room. And, these smells are very particular and they don't come from nowhere. They come from a potential spirit connection. So good. Objects move about. How many of you have had, put your glasses down and then gone to them and they've not been there, and you've looked because you knew you left them there, and then you went away, did something else, and when you come back, they were exactly where you had put them, but they hadn't been there, and you knew they hadn't been there in the interim time. Car keys are stunning for this as well. I've also heard of car keys being stolen by spirits or moved when the person wasn't meant to get in the car. So I always watch with car keys. If I know they're in a certain place and nobody could have moved them and they're not there, I'm like, do I need to go out today? How's the weather? Stuff like that. But glasses, purse, car keys, sometimes pieces of jewellery that are even from the person concerned. But if objects start moving about or disappearing, then yes, that can be a spirit. The next one is in dreams. Have you seen a spirit in your dreams? Some people say, oh, I dreamt of my dad, but it was just a dream. But if that was intense and your dad was passing on something to you or making his presence felt, then believe me, that was a spiritual presence in your dreams, because they're in one room, we're in the other, and your dreams are the sort of hall in the middle where you can both meet up quite easily. So if you get a message from a spirit in a dream, or they show you something in a dream, that's totally different from just having a run-of-the-mill day where you're just, processing things, and you will know the difference. Sometimes people get whispering or buzzing in your ears. Some people hear wee voices. That I'm not saying, that schizophrenia is spirit stuff. There's a difference, but there's a sense of maybe hearing something whispered in your ear, maybe a wee warning. Maybe someone saying, I'm here. And sometimes I've known spirits that maybe while they're trying to get their vibration correct for you to understand that there's an actual buzz. It's like more of a buzz on your ears or a buzz on your head. And funnily enough, the buzz can sometimes be felt by people who are not that mediumistic to begin with. But then bit by bit, it becomes more of the sort of the buzz becomes formed into words or sounds that are more to do with that person. So let me know what you think about that one. Seeing movement out of the corner of the eye, you're like, oh, what was that? What was that? Well, if that happens a lot, or a lot on one day, say that's an anniversary or whatever, that's a good idea. That's a good thing that there is a spirit trying to get your attention and you're just catching it out the corner of your eye. Hidden footsteps or doors banging. Have you ever been in a room and heard someone going upstairs but nobody else is in the house? Or you've heard creaky doors or doors banging? That can be freaky, but I can't actually find that quite just joyful, thinking that the person's making their footsteps heard again. I do like that. Yeah, we're still on. Now I'm putting together symbols, and by that I mean that there's a lot of symbols in different cultures that mean a spirit is about. Some of our ones are feathers, that just come out of nowhere. Pennies been left for people, and red robins, and there's an awful lot more than that, but they're the symbols that are the norm that we can read about anywhere. So I've kind of lumped them all together, but again, let me know on that. There is actually seeing the spirit itself or the apparition, and sometimes when the spirit's a strong spirit, it can manifest, and sometimes you'll just see the outline and some features. Sometimes it can be clearer, you're almost seeing it like looking at the person how they were. Sometimes it's hazy, sometimes it's almost just like white smoke. But if you do at one point say, oh my goodness, what was that? I'm actually seeing something. That's definitely a spirit. That's a spirit saying, I'm trying to get through to you, and I'm also trying to manifest so that you can see me. So that's a good one. Another one is actually just feeling anxiety. And people get the anxiety first and then they think, oh, what's going on? But sometimes a spirit will be in the room and you're not tuned into it, you're not sensing it, and it will go by you and it will pass through your auric field. Now that feels like an attack, that feels like not so much an attack but an intrusion. So immediately when we get an intrusion in our space, we become anxious. We're like, oh, what was that? So anxiety that springs up out of nowhere, especially maybe if you've just been not really thinking on anything at all or reading or whatever, could be a spirit's come into the room and drifted past you, and your auric space has a change of energy because of that. Let me know if you've ever had that. There's also the feeling someone is watching you, could be the same, if you ever maybe sat somewhere and thought, oh, what's that? Or, oh, I don't feel as though I'm myself in this room. Or if you've been to somewhere old or a museum or something, you're like, oh no, feel uneasy. And it's because you do feel someone's watching you, and that can go hand in hand with the anxiety as well. Also, another one, seeing orbs in photographs. If you take photographs of an event or something that family have been at and there's orbs all round about you, that's a sure sign that spirits are around you, and I love orb photos, I really do. Repeating numbers or patterns, if you continually see the same number on the clock, 11:11. I had one yesterday where I wakened at 4:44 and 44 seconds into the day. And I know someone that really is good at numerology, and he told me what that meant. And thank you, Peter, because that was a good one. I enjoyed what that told me because it was very relevant. So it wasn't just 441, it was actually the seconds were at 44 as well. So yeah, so watch if you get repeating numbers on even flashed up at you, or you continually see them on maybe even car number plates, stuff like that is definitely there. Shivers up and down your spine, yay. That's like, oh, somebody walked over my grave. But it's not. It can be, again, this energy that comes from a spirit going through your space. Exhaustion. Exhaustion that comes out of nowhere, that you're actually doing okay, and then all of a sudden it's almost as though the energy just goes straight out your body. The energy of being in your vibration, when a spirit of a different vibration comes into it, can really drain the energy. And that's why a lot of mediums, only they limit their work to X amount of readings or X amount of platform work a week or a month. And it's important they do that, because even when you've got your, a lot of protection up or whatever, just dealing with a normal spirit, a good, wholesome family spirit, still has the effect of, can do, just draining the energy. I mean, you might feel full of beans after it and high, but normally I've found that even an hour or so after, I've been like, oh. So if you've got exhaustion that just comes on for no reason, and there's maybe another few of these in there too, think about that. You can feel the energies in old or ancient places. If you were to take a trip to, say, Stonehenge, you would literally feel the spirits that still are associated with that place. Iona Abbey, for me, is like, whoa, I actually keeled over and fainted in Iona Abbey because of the energy that was going through. It was actually in the graveyard outside it. These places have a lot of attachments and a lot of really energies that might want to connect with what they went through in places or whatever. Another one is Glencoe, the past going through Glencoe. Oh my goodness, the spirits there they have stories to tell, believe me. Tingles on skin and hair. That's literally like, the hairs in your arm going up. But so that's one of them. But you can sometimes just get a sense of almost like little tingles certain places. My mum, she puts tingles over my hands, and she also goes like that, and I can feel the tingles in my hair. So let me know if you've ever had that. Songs, you've maybe been thinking of someone and they let you know that they are around by, a song coming on the radio or on your iPod shuffle or whatever. Songs can be really good, especially if you get 2 or 3 of in the same day or the same hour that represent one person, even their name in it. It can be absolutely fantastic. So bear that in mind too. And the last one I've put is, you feel the urge to write or draw, but you don't know why. Now, the spirits around you might have been trying to get in touch or let you know you're there, but you're not getting it, or you know they're there, but you're not getting what they want to communicate. If you suddenly get the urge to get a pen out and just doodle or draw, that is a form of automatic writing that spirits can get messages through, even if it's just one word or one date or whatever. So if you're not really that artistic or whatever, but you suddenly feel you want to put a pen and a pencil and have a wee bit of drawing, that's a reason as well. And it can be a way that I've seen a lot of people develop, that instead of seeing the spirits, they actually get messages that are processed through and written through them. So that's my 22. I'm sure I've missed one, or loads. I'm just going to add I'll add an extra one. For those that don't have an animal, right? This one's for you. Have you seen a candle flame maneuver when maybe there's no drafts or no reason for it to either waver or go way up or way down? That one's for you. Okay, so if you don't have an animal that you can watch, use the one as the candle and we'll still be at 22. So let me know how many of these you got, please. Let me know if you like more quizzes. They're for fun, but they're not really. I want you to really see that there might be things that are happening, but you're really not sure, or you haven't been sure, and I can say, oh yeah. And remember, it's sometimes it takes more than one thing to convince you. And in my experience, spirits will go round various ones of that. They might like knock a photo frame over, and they might give you a song or a smell. They don't just stick to one thing, especially if they really want their attention. They will go all out to try and get you to think of them and think of their name, and sit maybe so that they can get more through. So let me know your, not as much score, but whether you felt that you got a lot of these, or you know about a lot of these and you're now going to use them or open up to them more. And I'll look forward to seeing what your thoughts are on the quiz. So many blessings now. Bye. I'm still on. Yep. Ah, why is this not stopping? This is Colette stuff, I told you. Let's see.